What's up, Bulls Nation? If you're just tuning in, hold onto your hats, because today we've got some mind-blowing news that's going to have all of Chicago buzzing. Kyrie Irving has officially accepted the Chicago Bulls offer, and this is huge. We're talking about one of the most electrifying and skillful point guards in the league, coming to a team that's hungry to return to its championship pedigree. After seasons of rebuilding and slowly showing flashes of promise, the Bulls have now added a bona fide superstar to their roster. This could change everything. As soon as the news dropped earlier today, all eyes turned to Chicago. So, how did this even happen? There were whispers over the last few months about the Bulls possibly being in the mix for Kyrie, but the reality of it hitting today feels surreal. From the start, we all knew that Kyrie Irving was a big-name free agent, and given his recent drama in Brooklyn, there were no shortage of rumors about where he'd land. We heard talks of him possibly re-signing with the Nets, but then the Bulls came in, and it looks like their pitch was just too enticing to turn down. This is a team that's not rebuilding, but instead, building a contender. Chicago isn't just a city with a rich basketball history, it's a market that has always demanded excellence. With guys like Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Nikola Vucevic already in place, the Bulls had a solid core, but adding Kyrie takes that to a whole new level. Think about it, with Irving on the floor, the Bulls now have three players who can get their own shot anytime. LaVine is a high flyer and a ridiculous shooter, DeRozan has his mid-range game on lock, and now with Kyrie? The floor spacing is going to be deadly. This is an offense that could be near impossible to defend, especially in the half court when games slow down in the playoffs. For Chicago's front office, this is the ultimate gamble. The Bulls have been cautious in their approach, trying to build a balanced roster that can win now while avoiding the mistakes of past overhauls. But with the acquisition of Kyrie, it's clear they're all in. It's a win-now move, and it could completely shift the team's trajectory. The Bulls have been stuck in the middle of the pack in the East for the past few seasons, but adding a player like Irving immediately boosts their playoff chances and gives them an extra gear in the postseason. We all know the East is stacked, with teams like the Bucks, Celtics, and Sixers looking like the clear contenders, but with Kyrie, the Bulls suddenly find themselves in that mix. His ability to score from anywhere on the court, whether it's hitting clutch threes, driving to the basket, or finishing off the dribble, gives Chicago an offensive weapon that can truly take over games. And let's not forget about his ability to get to the free throw line, something the Bulls have lacked in recent years. But the real question now is, how does Kyrie fit into the team dynamic? Let's be honest, Kyrie is a unique personality. There's the on-court brilliance, but then there's also the unpredictability off the court. We all remember his drama in Cleveland, his departure from Boston, and of course, his final seasons in Brooklyn, where things just never seemed to click despite having a team full of talent. Chicago has a strong locker room with seasoned players like DeRozan and Vucevic who are respected across the league. LaVine is known for his calm demeanor, and Lonzo Ball is a guy who just loves playing team ball. If Kyrie is going to succeed in Chicago, it's going to take a mutual respect between him and the other stars. We've seen him gel with some teammates in the past, but at times, he's also been a disruptive force in the locker room. The good news is, Chicago's culture is grounded in hard work and unity. If Kyrie buys into this system and doesn't rock the boat, the Bulls could have a championship contender on their hands. But it's not just about Kyrie's offense. He's still one of the best playmakers in the league. His ability to break down defenses and make others around him better has never been in question. In fact, during his time in Cleveland, we saw him form one of the most lethal pick-and-roll duos with LeBron James. Now, he gets to play with another elite offensive weapon in DeRozan, who can thrive in the mid-range, and Vucevic, who's one of the best passing big men in the game. The pick-and-roll game in Chicago just became even more dangerous with Kyrie as the quarterback. Let's not forget about Lonzo Ball either. When healthy, Lonzo is one of the best facilitators in the league, and he can cover a lot of ground on defense. Kyrie and Lonzo together could form one of the most dynamic backcourt duos, with Lonzo's defense and playmaking complementing Kyrie's scoring and shot creation. It's a perfect blend of skill sets that could confuse opposing defenses. One of the key things to look out for this season is how the Bulls manage their rotation. With so many offensive weapons, it will be interesting to see how Billy Donovan handles the flow of the game. Who gets the ball in crunch time? Is it Kyrie? Is it DeRozan, who's been a clutch performer over the last couple of years? Or do they rely on LaVine's explosive scoring ability to close out games? The addition of Kyrie Irving takes pressure off DeRozan and LaVine, allowing them to focus on scoring in their natural spots rather than having to carry the load every night. And when you have three dynamic scorers, it gives opposing defenses a nightmare to try to figure out who to shut down in critical moments. This is why Chicago now has the potential to be one of the most dangerous teams in the East. But don't get it twisted, while Kyrie brings a lot of excitement, there are definitely risks involved. His track record for being unpredictable, both on and off the court, is something that's going to be a huge story. We've seen Kyrie struggle with staying consistent, and his previous departures from Cleveland and Boston raised more questions than answers. The Bulls will have to walk a fine line between maximizing his talents while ensuring he stays committed to the team. At the same time, there's no question that when Kyrie is locked in, he's one of the best players in the league. It's a gamble, but one that could pay off in a big way if things fall into place. Now, let's talk about the city of Chicago. The Bulls are one of the most storied franchises in NBA history, with 6 championships and the legendary Michael Jordan gracing the hardwood. But it's been a long time since the Bulls were true contenders, and the city's basketball culture has been starving for another championship. Kyrie Irving has always thrived in big markets, and Chicago is just that. The city has a rich basketball history, and it's the perfect stage for a player like Kyrie, who thrives on the spotlight. Chicago fans are some of the most passionate in the world, and they've been waiting for a team that can compete for titles. The addition of Kyrie Irving makes it clear the Bulls are no longer a rebuilding project, they are officially in the win-now business. This move shows that the front office believes that with the right pieces in place, this team can return to championship contention sooner rather than later. Now, let's shift gears and take a look at the reaction around the league. You've got to believe that other teams in the East are taking notice. The Bucks, Celtics, and 76ers are all stacked, but now, with the addition of Kyrie Irving, the Bulls can no longer be ignored. Other GMs are going to have to reassess their strategies because Chicago just became a real threat in the conference. Not only that, but the trade market just got a little more interesting. If the Bulls manage to add another piece at the trade deadline, whether it's another shooter, a backup big man, or defensive help, they could be primed for a deep playoff run. Fans have been absolutely losing it on social media ever since the news broke. Bulls fans are dreaming big. Could this be the return of the dynasty? They're asking. Could Kyrie Irving be the missing piece to finally bring a championship back to Chicago? It's exciting stuff. And hey, the Bulls fan base hasn't had a reason to get excited like this in a long time. The combination of LaVine, DeRozan, Vucevic, and now Kyrie Irving is the kind of squad that can make waves in the Eastern Conference. We can't wait to see what this new-look team can do on the court. Chicago basketball is back in a big way. So, what do you think, Bulls Nation? Do you believe Kyrie Irving is the key to unlocking a championship run for Chicago? Or do you think this move could ultimately backfire? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and be sure to hit that like button if you're as excited as I am about this move. Subscribe for more Chicago Bulls news and updates, and make sure you turn on that notification bell so you never miss any of the action. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.